All right, just making a video about using Repl.it to start a project for making a MadLibs program. And so we're going to look at what I've done is created a starter project for you, and all you have to do is modify the starter project to make it work with your MadLib. So that's what we're going to do today. So first things first is I need to log into Repl.it. Now, if you haven't already created your Repl.it account, you'll need to do that first. And I would use your school email to set up that account. So you go to sign up here if you haven't already done so, and then you can set up Repl.it. But I've already got my account set up, so I'm going to log in. And what I've done is, in order to share the files with you, since we don't have a shared folder anymore, is I'm using something called GitHub. Luckily, Repl.it has been integrated with GitHub, so that's this button over here. First thing I would do is I would say import repo, which is short for import repository, and that's just a project that's been stored out in this place called GitHub. So I'm going to click on that. The one I'd like you to download onto your computer is this one, and you might have to type it in. So you'd say add or remove. Well, it wouldn't be that one, I guess. But you would type in this, and that would import that repository. And what it should do is it'll create a Repl.it project for you there. It's going out and grabbing it from GitHub. It does everything for you. You can see what's happening behind the scenes. But once you have everything downloaded, it'll have all these files listed there. Now, there's two Java source files here that you'll need to get this to work. This one here, madlibmaker.java, is code that you're not going to change. This is code that I wrote just real quick to do all the fancy work behind the scenes to build your MadLib. And so I've got this all coded up, ready for you to use, but you don't have to change that one. The file you have to change is actually this one. All right, and this is where you would go in and change. I put in a sample story, but basically you would leave this line of code in, but you would change these lines of code. So I'm going to go grab a MadLib and try to work through this one on that. Hang on just a sec. All right, so I went and got a MadLib. We're going to give this a try. And so if you look here in the code, basically you're just alternating between adding to the story. This is the part of the story that doesn't change. And you're interleaving the parts of speech that you ask the user to actually enter. So if I run the program now, you hit the run button here. And you'll see over here in the command window, it starts up the program. It takes a little while to get going, but finally we get to our screen here, and you can see that it's asking us to enter a noun. So it's right here in the code. So I would enter just any noun, like a dog, let's say. Let me type that in. And then a verb, maybe say jump. And you see it substitutes those parts of speech in here for what we asked the user to enter. So yesterday I went to the dog. I had to jump. Not very funny, but sometimes it comes out to be pretty funny. So, but now I need to change it because I'm going to actually put in my own MadLib. Now you'll have to look around online to find a MadLib that would work. Usually I hand them out, but since we can't get together, you'll have to just look around on the internet. I would go to the MadLibs website, and they have lots of them out there that you could choose from. And I have one on paper here, so I'm just going to replace this text. So this one's called Vacation Sports, and I would say there are many new and then once you get to a blank spot where they need to enter a word, I would leave a space there, so you'd have a space there between that and the word, and then you say that, then you would type in ask them maker.ask speech part, and the part of speech we're asking for here is an adjective, so that's what you would write there, and then you continue on with your story by adding to the story here. So I would say then, and I would leave a space there because you want a space between the adjective and the next part of the story. So things you can do on your vacation. Oops, vacation today. And then it says, at least on the MadLib I'm doing it, I want you to enter a number. So I would say number. Okay. And then now this is where I have to add some code. I've asked for parts of speech, which is the number, and next I need to add the part of the story that doesn't change. So I'm going to say maker dot add to story, and here I put the continuation of the story. I'll start with the space because I want a space between the number and the next part of the story. Years ago, comma, space, and then I need to put in a plural noun, so I would say maker dot ask speech part. Be careful as you're typing because you have a little typo and it won't compile, so you have to be careful. And we're asking for a plural noun. Okay, and you just keep following this pattern until you have all the parts of speech that are listed on your MadLib, and then what you do is you just tell the maker, the MadLib maker, to show the story. So I'm going to try this. And I'll run it, see if it doesn't crash. Now if it does get an error, it'll tell you which line the error's on, and you can go and look at that line of code. Each line is numbered and see what might be wrong. So enter an adjective. I would say horrible. Okay. So you try to choose words that have maybe a funny or strange meaning. Enter a number. 1024. Okay. Please enter a plural noun. I would say hockey pucks. I guess that's plural noun. And then, of course, there's more to the story, but I've only done the first part. But let's see what it comes out with. There are many new and horrible things you can do on your vacation today. 1,024 years ago, hockey pucks. And then it goes on. This tends to get pretty long, though. The question is, how do we word wrap? Yeah, so we got to fix that problem. I would say maybe at the end of every sentence, anytime you have a period, I would say at every period put a backslash n, and that will make it go to the next line. And you would embed that inside the things that are in the quotes. You wouldn't put them necessarily in the ask speak part, but you put it in the add to story part, like every time you have a period or something. That way it doesn't get super wide and you can read it. So let's try that again and see. Okay, I would say Goofy. Oops. Goofy. -5. Plural noun. Gumdrops. I guess. It's coming up with anything. See if that looks any better. Yeah. So now this window doesn't get so wide. So there are many new and goofy things you can do on your vacation today. -5 years ago, gumdrops, and then the story would continue after that. And you'll have a nice window that pops up, and it describes that for you. So then what I would recommend is after you have the program written, you might hide this window and then just run the program and have your friends or your family, I guess your family right now, try it out and see if you can come up with something really funny when it comes to a story. Not sure how we're going to turn this in, but for now, this hopefully will get you going. Now, if you get stuck or if you ever have a problem, you certainly send me an email, tell me what the problem is, and then we'll figure out also too how to turn this in, or how to maybe work together on fixing those problems. Give this a try. Hope you enjoy it.